I'm Alan.
And I'm Jeremy. And you're watching Fantasy Football Mayhem. Let's do this.
Alright, this week in our emailed questions, we have Joe from Utah who asks, who's more valuable in a standard scoring league, D'Angelo Williams or Cedric Benson? What do you think, Jeremy?
Well, I think our rankings are pretty clear. We both had DW higher than Cedric Benson. I see where, they're pretty close. The thing I like about DW is he does catch the ball as well. He's a good receiving back. He does have to share carries with Jonathan Stewart, but like you mentioned last week, DW played less time and still had the amount that Stewart had. I still think it's going to be a 60-40 share. A lot of people think it's going to be 50-50. I still think they're going to lean on DW. Cedric Benson also has a backup by the name of Bernard Scott, who I think will steal some carries this year. You also got to remember, Cedric Benson hasn't played a full season ever. The most he's ever played is 13 games in a season, so I'm still going to go with DW here. I'm
definitely in agreement with you on that. I think D'Angelo Williams, what sets him apart from Cedric Benson is his big plays. I mean, like you brought up last week that he's just as explosive as Chris Johnson. Anybody who's as explosive as Chris Johnson, I'm going to give the edge to that guy, no matter who he's got behind him. I mean, Cedric Benson's a really grinded-out runner. He's going to get you yards. He's a good running back. Like, I like him. I'm still high on him. But, D'Angelo Williams has that plus big play ability.
Yeah, I do think the upside is more to Benson. I think Benson can give you more of the upside factor. DW, you know what you're going to get out of him every week. So if you're looking for upside, then I could see you taking Cedric Benson over D'Angelo Williams, but I'm going to stick with my guns and say DW.
I would also stick with that.
Thanks, Joe, for the question. We got another question here from an anonymous person. He's in a PPR league, and he wants to know who to keep, Ray Rice or Drew Brees. He has a 12th pick and a 12-man draft. What do you think?
I would definitely lean with Ray Rice. He's like one of the top. He's like the top in the top 3 amongst PPR, like overall. Drew Brees is a really awesome quarterback. She should be the first quarterback taken. I just don't think he should be taken before Ray Rice.
Yeah, I think it's definitely Ray Rice. If I was in a PPR league and I was getting 1 point per reception, I'm going to say Ray Rice is my number 2 pick. I still would have Chris Johnson number 1, but I don't think there's someone. And if you have the 12th pick, you're going to find a decent QB if that's what you want to get. Other than that, I'd say get another top running back because I think you're in position to get another top running back there. But
at first, when I was thinking about the question, I was thinking about maybe if like the quarterback had 6 points per touchdown pass.
Yeah.
I could possibly see it, but even if that was the case, I still think I'd go Ray Rice.
Yeah, and if that was the case, all the quarterbacks get 6 points.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah. But yeah, it's Ray Rice.
But I mean, all the quarterbacks would get 6 points per touchdown, but there are only a select few quarterbacks that are going to throw as many touchdowns as Drew Brees, is what I'm saying. But I would still, with that said, I'd still go with Ray Rice.
All the way.
Because I'm picking him. Or am I? In case my team players are watching.
But that's it for our questions this week. If you have a question, feel free to email us at fantasyfootballmayhem@live.com.
And we'll try not to mess it up.
Okay, thanks for some constructive criticism. We're going to run through the top 10 pretty quick here and then get to some other wide receivers that you could pick up later in the rounds and hopefully help you out when you're league. We do appreciate the constructive criticism, by the way.
Definitely. Alright, let's do this. Number 10, I've got Deshaun Jackson.
Number 10, I have Brandon Marshall.
At number 9, I have Greg Jennings. The last 3 years, he's averaged 16.5 yards a catch. He's the best receiver on their team. Donald Driver's declining.
Yeah.
They're a high pass threat. He's going to be productive.
Yeah, and he only had 4 touchdowns last year, and I see him doubling that this year.
I agree completely.
At number 9, I have Reggie Wayne.
At number 8, I have Larry Fitz.
Number 8, I have Sidney Rice. He's Favre's favorite target. he had the same amount of red zone touchdowns as the rest of the team combined, and Favre will be there, and he'll continue to be the guy there.
Are you sure about Favre being there?
I'm sure.
Oh, okay. Just checking. Number 7, I've got Calvin Johnson.
I have Greg Jennings at number 7.
Alright. Number 6, I have Brandon Marshall. Miami went out and got him for a reason. They're going to throw him the ball a lot. He's a selfish receiver. And I'm not saying that in a mean way. I'm saying that like that's actually good fantasy-wise. And he wants the ball, and he'll make them get the damn ball. You know, like that's exactly what's going to happen there. The Dolphins also have a few other receiving threats on the team. They're the only team last year that have 4 400-yard receivers. I mean, a couple of those guys are going to be able to spread the field for them. Plus, they have Pisano, so I mean, look for Brandon Marshall for sure.
Yeah, number 6, I have Roddy White.
Number 5, I have Miles Austin.
Number 5, I have Calvin Johnson.
At number 4, I've got Reggie Wayne. He's still Manning's red zone boy, so.
At number 4, I have Miles Austin. He only started in 9 games last year, and he was still top 5 receiver in most categories. If you play his numbers out through a season, he would have led Andre Johnson. He's the number 1 guy there, and Romo in that offense is going to be a pretty good offense this year. They're going to score some touchdowns.
They're going to be a high-flying attack. They like to pass a lot, so I really like Romo. Plus, you know, we were talking earlier about Des Bryant being there. I mean, he'll make a difference, but I don't think it'll come till later in the season. So. At number 3, I have Roddy White. I really like Roddy White. I've had him in a couple of leagues the last couple of years. Got no complaints. I mean, he was second last year in targets. Only Andre Johnson has more receiving yards the last 2 years than Roddy White. And I also see his big plays going up a little bit. So.
Yeah, and he's a consistent wide receiver.
Yeah, oh, definitely.
At number 3, I have Larry Fitzgerald. You downgrade him a little bit without Warner there, but he's still a big target. He led the league with 10 touchdowns in the red zone. Linehart's going to get the ball to him, and they're still going to get their job done there. And they don't play in the strongest division.
Hey, my Niners are in that division. Linehart's got nothing on Alex Smith. Number 2, I've got Randy Moss. I just think the Patriots are going to score a lot this year. I think Brady and the Patriots have a little bit to prove. I mean, everybody's so up on the Jets and Dolphins. I just think the Patriots are going to throw a lot. You know, their schedule is going to make them behind a little bit. So.
And he tied the league in touchdowns last year with 13.
With a separated shoulder.
Yeah, so he'll get done again.
Yeah. Number 1, I have Andre Johnson because he's amazing and he's the most consistent wide receiver in football.
Oh, definitely.
So.
I as well have Andre the Freak Johnson at number 1. He led the league in targets, and he'll continue to lead the league in targets. There's no one there that's going to battle him for that position on the team. No one's going to step up and dethrone him. Read your fantasy football magazines. Look on the internet. Anywhere you look and read, you know, you're going to hear comparisons to Jerry Rice and Marvin Harrison as far as numbers go. And anybody who can compare to those two with numbers, you want on your team. So. Definitely.